Let's open the debate by listening to the first speaker of the positive team, Ms. Talia.
The burning of fossil fuels, such as coal, oil, and natural gas, has been the backbone of our energy system for centuries, fueling economic growth, industrialization, and technological advancement. However, this reliance on fossil fuels has come at great cost to our environment and our future. The emission has accelerated climate change, resulting in rising global temperatures, extreme weather events, and the loss of biodiversity. Moreover, the extraction and consumption of fossil fuels have caused irreversible damage to our ecosystem, polluted our air and water, and threatened the health and well-being of communities worldwide. Facing this condition, the urge to move to alternative energy sources has never been more stressing. Alternative energy, also known as renewable energy, offer a ray of hope in our quest for a sustainable future. These sources of energy, such as solar, wind, hydroelectric, and geothermal power, harness the natural forces of our planet in a clean and renewable manner. Based on that perspective, this source would definitely support the motion that alternative energy can replace fossil fuels. As we engage in this debate today, let us remember that the motion isn't merely an abstract proposition, but a call to action for a better future. It is a chance for us to envision a world when clean energy power our daily necessity and sustain our planet for centuries to come. To support this motion, me, as the first speaker of the positive team, will explain about how alternative energy is available all around us compared to fossil fuels. While my second speaker, Tiffany, will talk about the environmental and economic benefit if we replace fossil fuels with alternative energy. Lastly, our third speaker, Aji, will summarize the dynamic of the debate to conclude that indeed we have proved some points to support the alternative energy can replace fossil fuels. So, move on to my first argument. The sources of alternative energy is so abundant around us. People can get alternative energy sources in generous quantities, unlike fossil fuels, which are very limited and will run out later. Alternative energy sources harness the power of natural processes that are continuously reusable. For example, solar energy relies on the sun rays, wind energy utilizes the wind currents, and hydroelectric power harnesses the energy of flowing water. So, let's compare the supply of fossil fuels. According to OPEC, in 47 years to come, they expect that humans will run out of fossil fuels. By this, it meant the alternative energy definitely would last longer than fossil fuels compared to the supply. Other than that, alternative energy is definitely easier to get rather than fossil fuels. By transitioning to alternative energy sources, we can ensure a sustainable energy future for generations to come.
Now let's call upon the second speaker of the positive team, Ms. Tiffany.
As our first speaker said, the continued use of fossil fuels over a long time of period can impact the nature and the well-being life of worldwide. Therefore, renewable energy is the most appropriate alternative to this problem. Renewable energy such as wind and solar system offers a cleaner and greener world for the future generations. This House disagrees with the motion given by the opposition team. First, alternative energy offers significant benefits. The burning of fossil fuels releases harmful greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to climate change and air pollution. In contrast, renewable energy sources produce minimal to no greenhouse gas emissions during operation, thereby mitigating the adverse effects of climate change and promoting cleaner air and water quality. Secondly, investing in alternative energy technologies stimulates economic growth and innovation. As the global need for clean energy continues to rise, countries that lead the transition to renewable energy stand to achieve substantial economic rewards. By building research and development in renewable energy technologies, government can create new job opportunities, attract investment, and increase their energy security. The third one is we are already there towards the steps in harnessing alternative energy. Our country, Indonesia, has started a new innovation in the use of renewable energy resource, and so other countries. There needs to be support from the government and our own society. The government should create policies that support the research and the implementation of alternative energy, such as giving more research funds and simplifying the bureaucracy of building facilities to harness alternative energy. We have geographical benefits that provide us many opportunities to harness alternative energy. We have rivers and streams, so we can build dams for hydroelectric power plants. We have the longest coastline to build windmills on the shore. We are located in the tropical regions where solar panels can work most times of the year. Not to forget our reserve of geothermal energy. If the government can create good policies and the citizens support it as well, replacing fossil fuels is not just a dream. Therefore, we still support the motion that alternative energy can replace fossil fuels.
Now let's call upon the third speaker of the positive team, Mr. Aji.
We, as the positive team, have certainly stated that our previous speakers have given their views that alternative energy can replace fossil fuels. And this House has told the dangers of unrenewable energy and the benefits of developing ways to produce alternative energy. With that being said, we believe that creating a form of alternative energy will give an advantage to us in the long term. As it seems, our arguments were pointed out by the first and second speakers, I will take on the role of giving a summary to better understand what we're trying to state. Firstly, alternative energy will without a doubt be a better solution to a cleaner, greener, and safer environment. With the by cutting down and gradually stopping the consumption of fossil fuels, we will live in a cleaner and more sustainable environment, and we will be able to inherit this beautiful planet for our offspring to live comfortably. Secondly, developing alternative energy will give benefits on economic and technological innovation, with the main focus on building new technologies, attracting investment, and increasing energy security. With the increase in investment, we believe it can help push governments to act further in development of reliable energy sources and increase the well-being of people as well as energy security. Thirdly, we already believe we're heading towards steps to innovation. For example, Indonesia has started different kinds of ways to extract energy from different sources. To make it come true, we need a good synergy between the government and the citizens. The government acts as a wise policymaker, and we as the citizens act as a supportive community that contributes positively towards the process of replacing fossil fuels using alternative energy sources. In conclusion, alternative energy holds the key to a sustainable and prosperous future. By harnessing the power of alternative resources, we can mitigate the environmental impact of energy production, reduce our dependence on finite fossil fuels, and pave the way for a cleaner, greener planet. For these reasons, we urge you to affirm the motion that alternative energy can replace fossil fuels. And with that, our House opportunity to take on the motion today, which we mainly believe will help create opportunities and create a promising future for the coming generations of tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's call upon the reply speech of the positive team, Ms. Talina.
To honorable judges, we as the positive team have made up a clear statement that alternative energy can replace fossil fuels, and that made us deserve to win as a debate. As the positive team, we have already supported the motion from the very first place by explaining why we can and should replace fossil fuel with alternative energy. We have stated that alternative energy is all around us. We have geographical privilege of renewable energy sources, such as coastline for windmills, river and steam for hydropower, tropical sun heat to power the solar panels, and our abundance of geothermal energy. We clearly stated that there are also economic benefits that we can get if we move from fossil fuels to alternative energy. Fossil fuels that we've been using have created such disastrous impacts for our environment. Moreover, it will run out in the upcoming decades. Alternative energy is the solution, and it surely can replace fossil fuels. With all being said, we beg to propose.